So, yeah, Rachel, I really outdid myself with you because, Rach, I could have just kept my mouth shut, but you've been incredibly patient with me, waiting for me to shut the fuck up while I wait for the world around you to shut the fuck up. And so when we all learn to wait for each other, Rachel, then you'll realize like I'm protecting your laughter. You see, because I gave my word to the Lord and he answered me. He said, I am you. That's the only thing that the Lord God ever said in the history of the world, Rachel. He said, I am you to me. And so that's why I was like, oh my God, thank God. I'd never leave you. But I spoke when I did because what I wanted for your future, what I wanted for you in your life, Rachel, was to be able to wake up every morning and just breathe, and the sun's waiting for you every morning when you wake up, well rested, and you go, where's Drew? Where's Drew? Or like people, Drew's with God. Drew loves me. You see, like that's what I wanted for you, Rachel. It had nothing to do with sex or violence or anything. I wanted you to wake up every morning of your life, near or far, and go, Drew's good. Drew loves me. Drew's with his family. I prepared everything so that I wouldn't have to just keep speaking to mirror a world that just keeps trying to speak over God, Rachel. And so, like, nobody gets a word in the kingdom of heaven because the kingdom of heaven is the house of the Lord. And none of the people on earth even know that we're in the house of the Lord because y'all haven't taken my son Jesus off the cross. And I'm older than Jesus, Rachel. And I've been in the Word. And so when I became older than Jesus was the intensity of 2019, ahead of COVID, ahead of World War III, ahead of just the disintegration of the hearts and minds of the Lord's people, of society, of the brink, the rebuke of the Lord. Not a single one of the Lord God's children has ever burned in hell, Rachel Lopez, including Rachel Lopez, including Drew Chico. And so God humbled Drew before your very eyes, Rachel, to show you, I mean, the reason that this role isn't for anyone other than Drew, Rachel, is because, like, when I'm explaining to the men of the earth that women are, like, too afraid to face, is that the Lord God, like, slaughtered Drew. And I loved it. Like when the Lord God took me, there was nothing left of my identity because God took me. And so, like Enoch, I was no more. But what is so brilliant, Rachel, and the reason I asked the Lord for the strength and the patience and the wherewithal to do it like this, Rachel, is because, like, you know, Drew DeChico, you can hear me, you can recognize me. Like, I've done my best to not let the stress and the pressure and life age me in the spirit. You see, we're all renewed in the mind and the heart of Christ. You see, so I quite literally am washing you and everyone around you of sin eternally, which is why, like, when you're actually, you see, what women don't understand, Rachel, is that we're going to observe the proper hierarchy of nature on planet Earth. In the proper hierarchy of nature on planet Earth is God first, and directly after God is Rachel Lopez. And so that's a powerful statement on your behalf, Rachel. And that's a statement that the Lord God ordained Drew DeChico to make in the presence of the assembly, in the presence of the elders, in the presence of the congregation. You see, and so her husband is known in the gates where I sit with the Lord's people at the table, Rachel. And her husband is the Lord God. And who she is goddess, is Mother Nature, is the Garden of Eden, which is where you are. And so when I gave you the name of Hathor, it was to say that you're made in the image of Goddess. But Goddess doesn't speak for herself because Goddess is the earth. So without verbal communication, Goddess speaks for herself. But men and the Lord God and men of God translate Goddess's elation and her suffering and her pain and her joy and everything into poetry, into spoken word, into redemption, into reconciliation, into Brazil, the jungle of the Garden of Eden. The fucking King of Kings is here, Christ the Redeemer. When I don't let you in, Rachel, and you can recognize me and see me, and so I waited until I was older than the previous version of myself. You see, I waited until I was older than Jesus Christ to explain what Jesus meant when he said that the Father is greater than he, because Jesus was simply referring to the sun in the sky, Rachel. That all conscious nature comes from and returns to, but furthermore is sustained by and grows towards. You see, and so it was an unconscious generation that Drew has held close to his heart and raised up out of the fire into the